Today marks 98 years of independence of the Republic of Georgia. 26th of May 1918. Georgia was freed from the empire that was ruling it. Georgia has a wide and diverse history of different empires, and the Russians and the Ottomans capturing parts of the country, influencing and shaping today's culture. And I'm gonna take you along on this beautiful, magnificent, sunny day. I'm here in Batumi, down on the Black Sea coast, probably 30 minutes drive from the Turkish border. And I was told there's some festivities today. It's definitely busy and crowded today. People are out on the streets, people are dressed up. It's definitely pretty out here. Magnificent flags waving in the wind. And what I find interesting to note on this Independence Day, 98 years, is that initial republic that was called out back in 1918 only lasted around 3 years. Because in 1921, the Red Army came from Russia and took over vast parts of the Republic of Georgia, resulting in Soviet rule, which still shows until today. A lot of Russian being spoken, especially in older generations. But since the Soviet Union fell in 1991, the people of Georgia decided to go back to the virtues and the acts they put in place in 1918 and go back to this kind of socialist democratic republic that it is until today. I'm kind of lost in this magnificent city. I live a bit outside, like in kind of this direction. Yeah, I might even see my apartment building over there. I live probably 20 minutes outside the city center. And it's always nice to come here because it's a bit more diverse, more young crowd, more families. And there's beautiful views of the mountains, of the sea. And since coming here to Batumi, what I find very curious, very interesting to see is that the city has grown tremendously in the last 10 years. In 2015, 2016, there were probably 140, 150,000 people living here. And now it's 250, and that shows in big buildings and tourist attractions where a lot of foreign money has flown into this town that some people call Little Dubai, or a mix of Dubai and Las Vegas. And you can see the crowds of people. It's a Tuesday afternoon, so people are off work, enjoying their days. Amazing. And that influx of people, these 100,000 new people, is probably a majority of those are Russian and Ukrainian nationals who started coming with the war that started 4 years ago in Ukraine. Yeah, that boy on it. Wow. He's driven a bigger motorcycle than I ever have. Big parts of the city are scattered with 50, 60-story buildings that are lit up by LEDs. As you can see, there's the massive Ferris wheel. And there's other touristy kind of things if I show you. Georgia has a big wine culture as well. So if you ever want to try proper good wine straight from the winery, from the vineyards, it's one of the places to be. Alphabetic Tower, Georgia's national pride, I guess. Military police, military vehicles. Rockets and dogs. pictures. The kids on top. I got hungry, so I went for typical Georgian khachapuri this time. It's pizza. Provecho. 4 cheese khachapuri, 26 lari, lemonade 10 lari, total 36, which is like 12 euros. So nice and cheesy. This was worth a 25-minute wait. This place is super Instagrammable. This is Oriental Kitchen Batumi. Thank you guys. Good night. There were roses on the table, which is pretty nice. It's a cool mirror. Let's check out Europe Square. There's a lot of people on the street. Wow. That restaurant was pretty good actually. It just took forever to get my food, but maybe I was impatient. But good place to people watch. There's casinos in this town as well, which is always weird to me, but it's a kind of Georgian thing. I've seen that in Tbilisi as well. There's probably 10 casinos in this town alone. Well, that's how they make money. Random horses on the street. So this is Europe Square. It's kind of the heart of downtown. Always something going on. The Starbucks, there's McDonald's, KFC. A lot of international brands in this town as well. But yeah, this is Independence Day in Georgia. Just people out enjoying life, waving flags. As a walking tour, I'm just gonna join this group of walking people and see where it takes me. See what language they're speaking. Something I also see in Georgia a lot. It's a lot of street dogs like this one. He's really dirty. Probably really hungry too. Man, this makes me so sad. Every day, dozens of dogs outside my apartment building, on the beach, downtown. Look, there's another dog here. There's a real problem here. Unfortunately, there's not enough shelters. I see many people feeding those dogs, but Oh man. Ah, Turkish group. Look, there's one dog next to me, there's another one digging a hole over here. These are all stray dogs. They have no owner, there's no one, no one taking care of these dogs really. It does remind me of South America in a way, with a lot of strays. Poop all over the place. I should get out of this grass. Yeah, very sad. This astronomical clock here. Ah, it's related to this clock up there. Astronomical clock. In present daytime. Ah, between 4 and 5. I don't know how to read this. Maybe someone in the comments can explain how this clock up there is to be read with this chart. Daytime means solar time means sunset. I don't know, man. Gonna head back to the ocean. Look at the sunset, maybe get a snack. Even though I'm kind of full after that pizza, but well, Georgia has markets all over the place. Food is rather cheap here. In general, cost of living is way below Europe. It reminds me of Vietnam in a way that people come here with one of the main reasons, cost of living being low. My seaside apartment, 10th floor, is probably 220 euros a month. Something like 700 lari, 720. Yeah, if you really scrape by and you stay here long term and you rent an apartment for, say, 6 months or a year, most countries can stay up to a year visa free. In Georgia, you just get a visa on arrival and it's valid for 12 months. So you can get a longer term apartment, get a local bank account as well. Even as a tourist just coming here for a week, you can get a Georgian bank account. And yeah, if you stay long term, you can probably live with way less than $1,000 a month. If you're really scraping by, if you're cooking at home a lot, you don't go out, you don't drink. I would say alcohol is one of the biggest cost driving factors, not just here in Georgia, but with traveling in general. I've learned over the years that, yeah, if you go out 3 or 4 times a week and just drink a handful of beers, it's easy 100, 150 euros just down the drain for alcohol. So I've definitely cut down on my boozing over the last few years. But yeah, if you cook at home, you can get a kilo of chicken breast for 3 euros. It's an easy 3 or 4 days of meat. Rice is cheap, like everywhere in the world. Vegetables are really good quality, which really surprised me compared to other places like, let's say, Serbia, where I've spent some time, where food quality felt worse, especially vegetables, fresh stuff. Here I found really nice local stores in my neighborhood where it's an old grandma and she has super fresh paprika and cucumbers and beautiful red tomatoes that I don't find at Aldi in Germany, where I have to go to a bio store and pay up heftily. A lot of walnuts for cheap, like 7 euros a kilo, which is amazing. Like, for real, I was shocked when I saw that. We're back home, it's probably 30 bucks a kilo. But yeah, of course, local fresh produce is always cheaper. And coming back to my Vietnam reference from earlier, what I noticed with a lot of people coming here, where the argument why people came is oftentimes, okay, it's cheap and you can stay long without a visa, without having to leave. So if you're looking for a place to focus, to get work done, I can recommend Georgia, I can recommend Batumi. I've heard in the winter like in the fall, from let's say October until March. I guess this place will be like my home in northern Germany. It will be gray and cold and windy and kind of boring as well. But the summertime, it's kind of loosening up right now. There's a little more people, more tourism. Rent goes up in the summer as well. But yeah, this place is really thriving, I feel like. Well, I've been in this park a couple of times and I've never seen it this crowded. And considering it's just end of May, I believe in July, there's a lot of people who come here and yeah, go on vacation to Georgia, and sort of direct flights from Kutaisi, for example. Batumi has an airport too. But from my brief research, the connections into Europe at least are below average. There's other airports here in Georgia, in Kutaisi and in Tbilisi it's called, that have better connections into Europe. I came in from Zurich. The one thing which you will see as I'm getting closer to the ocean, the one thing that's missing here in terms of beach is sand, which is weird when I say I'm going to the beach. And there is a degree of sand here for sure, but it's not your typical Caribbean, South American, Mediterranean beach. You can see here on the outskirts there is some rough sand, but the closer you get to the ocean, it also varies by neighborhood, but as you can see, it's getting more rocky, more and more rocky. Where in my neighborhood there's no sand at all. Here it's kind of grainy, but at my place it's just only rocks all over the place, which some people might find uncomfortable. I actually kind of like it because the rocks keep the warmth for a while, so even when you're sitting at the beach in the evening, so some heat from the ground. And it's all different experiences. As you can see, I almost lied to you saying there's no sand here, but sand is rather patchy. It's like a big area that has sand, and now getting closer to the ocean, it's all turning to pebbles and rocks. And suddenly there's no sand anymore. Another thing to point out as well, the other day I saw someone posting on Reddit asking if there's any surf here in Georgia, any waves. Now this is the Black Sea. Black Sea is almost like a big lake, even though it's not a lake. That's close to it. And as you maybe see, there are a couple of cute waves crashing in all day, all night, but it's definitely not a place for surfing. Some people do like wind kind of activities, but even that really depends on the day. Yeah, there's nicer places on this planet to go for surfing for sure. And if you're American or non-European in general, keep in mind this is non-Schengen, so if you have stayed, let's say as a nomad, as a traveler, spend your 90 days in Europe, Georgia is a good place to come for 3 months. Like Albania, it's outside of Schengen area, so you can wait here till your visa status changes again. You can enter Schengen again, which is rather nice. That was a beautiful sunset today, as always here in Batumi when there's no rain. Thank you for watching this video. Have you been to Georgia? Do you want to come to Georgia after watching this? Comment down below. I'll see you next time.